It's that time of year again, and I've signed up for a local spring market called Crafty Affair, and it's happening April 18th in Surrey at the Elgin Hall. So if you are a local viewer, you should come to that. It's such a nice big place, which means there's going to be so many more vendors. There's no MLM vendors, it's all original stuff. And the first 25 people who arrive at the market in the morning will get a free gift bag with one piece from every vendor equal to about $10 purchase at each vendor. So that's a gigantic deal. So what I usually do is I make artist trading cards. And this time I decided to use up these magic cards just because I have a whole lot of them. And as per usual, I start by sanding the surface lightly. And then I usually start with a layer of gesso anyway, before coming in with the acrylic paint. I tend to use the Liquitex acrylic wash because it has a nice surface. It's really smooth. I always hold my breath when I open my little pot of gesso because I know that paint does eventually go bad. It can get kind of moldy, but I've had this gesso since I was in college classes. So that, I feel like the last time I was in a college class, for art anyway, was like 2008. So this is probably at least a 15-year-old container of gesso, and it's still going well. Still going strong. I suspect people are probably getting sick of looking at these little shy fish. I personally love them to bits. I think a lot of people do too. Ultimately, like the reason why I'm using them a lot in stuff, especially projects like this that are meant to be quick and efficient, because it's a lot of them and I'm giving them away for free. And doing altered magic cards takes a heck of a lot longer than just doing the usual thing, which is to decorate a huge surface and then cutting it down. But I just wanted to use these cards because they're pretty fun. But a big reason why these shy fishes keep coming up in my projects is a lot of it because it's easier to print on my printer. I don't do enough line art, I guess. If I wanted to do something like a printed zine or stickers, which are just printed onto label paper, which is why I don't charge much money at all for them. But this is technically the limit of what I can personally do with a laser printer. So recently I did add a funding goal on Patreon that if I could get Patreon group up to $200 a month, which is not a particularly ambitious goal actually, but if I reached that goal, I decided that I was just going to break down and I was going to buy a real printer. And if I could do that, I could make the full colored zines that I really aspire to make. I could make better art journal covers. I could make stickers, made to order prints, stuff like that. And if you are a patron in the mailing tier, I do send out original drawings to people who sign up for $10 or more a month. And I do like to add a few extra things. And so like to have a printer means that I'd actually be able to send out higher quality extras. Maybe an annual zine. I think it would be really cool and fun, and it would be a huge change and huge boost in the kinds of things that I could sell online and in person. I think that would be really cool. Back to these cards, these stickers, because they're done on label paper meant for shipping, they have an interesting backing. And so even though the acrylic paint isn't as glossy as normal acrylic paint, the stickers still were able to peel right off. I'm kind of surprised by that. I was able to peel them off and they were still quite sticky. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I did have to go in and glue them back down with proper glue. But yeah, I have a bunch of these cute little cards which are already on their way to be put into the gift baskets at the spring market. I do have a few extra fish cards that I made in the shop right now. Links to everything is in the description, and thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.